Explosives duct taped to my spine. Nothing's gonna change my mind. Hello and welcome for the second time to Let's Play Bomberman Tournament. Let's load our data from file number 9. File loaded, and here we are, and there we were. Upwards to the base. Welcome to Meganet Base, the first of the bases, of which there are 5. This is the shortest and easiest one, and here we have some higgy bandits, although the game never refers to them as such. I don't know if they're even named that by now. Who the hell knows? Bomberman continuity. Confusing and strange though it is. They have a sort of disturbing burnt stumbly animation upon death as to all the vaguely humanoid enemies in this game. Anyway, dungeons, very much like classic Zelda, especially the portable classic Zeldas with their one room per screen. Fairly simple, not much to it. I feel like this is a format that really does work rather well for Bomberman. And I don't really understand why this isn't a thing that happens more with Bomberman games. Anyway, new enemy, the rope, the snake rope. I don't know what they're called, I don't know what any of these enemies are called, I'm just gonna make it up. Aha, you thought I was in trouble there? But I was not quite in trouble. These snakes eat bombs. They eat your bombs. And they walk around fat and slow. And eventually digest the bomb. And they can eat another bomb. Actually very easy enemies to deal with because they sort of run at bombs, so... and then move slowly away after pausing for a second. Not terribly threatening. Anyway, more bandits and buttons. By Jove. Right, these buttons are paired with those spigots on the wall which shoot arrows. These arrows will deal 1 damage to us. And this is our radar at the moment. We're on the first and only floor of this level. We've got some BMOSes. And a really quite obviously cracked wall. The secret room full of ropes, full of snakes, full of mean, dangerous animals. I know this is Dungeon 1, but these snakes really are a joke. Ooh, careful! Haha! A risky maneuver. And now we have a chest hidden behind some coloured blocks. Very mysterious. It's actually one of the more dangerous rooms, simply because you're stuck to these paths and avoiding the BMOSes is very difficult. And we got the crystal, the compass, the map. We can see the layout of the place. We've scratched the surface already. Now, this room at first appeared empty, but is in fact infested with zombies. Zombies hide underground until you approach their position. So aggravatingly, you have to cover every inch of the room before you can move on, because killing them all is required. They use the same death animation as the bandits. You know, they're zombies, not robots. Who knew? They also take 2 hits. How novel! How novel indeed. Don't let them touch you or you'll become zombified yourself, perhaps. Except no, that doesn't happen. That's not a true thing. That was a lie. Sort of low on health right now. Sure we'll be fine though. Everything's probably okay. Got at least 1 more zombie. Scratch that, 2 more zombies to deal with. I think I rather foolishly let them both loose at once there. Eee, that's no good. And Bomberman's down. Let's try that again. Dying in this game simply returns you to the last place you saved, and you're pretty much allowed to save anywhere. Except in dungeons, of course, which return you to start of the area. Mainly. I'm sneakily using save state so I don't have to bother with all that nonsense. I know I can beat this game without cheating. I don't need to prove it to no one. Do. Arrows deal 2 damage. Who knew? Yep, seed runs are possibly the most useful Carabon this early in the game. And what's this? It's Bibbidi. Bibbidi bobbidi boo! It's the old Carabon guy, as mentioned by that guy in that house last time in beta, or is it beta? He gives an elephant to fuse with our Pikachu to open a door. Simply having Elifan in our set of Carabones means we can push blocks. Special designated blocks with colours on them. We don't need to equip him to actually do that, which is nice. And swoosh! Zoom. We're magically back here. Transitions. Okay, the key here is to push the blue block second. And we get a large medicine which refills 1 heart. Because we can only carry 1 at a time, it's instantly used! Instantaneously. Even if you have full health, it still gets used. Let's go the other way this time. As you can see, there is a block to push, so there's no way to continue the dungeon without taking the right path previously. Hiding behind a panel, eh? You scoundrel! Dosh. I tend to keep my distance from explosions, even though I really shouldn't keep quite as much distance as I do. It's very easy to leave yourself accidentally a pixel or 2 into the explosion, though. And this is high stakes Bomberman action right here. Well, it's technically high stakes. I guess Bomberman can take more bombs than he can in regular style Bomberman games. Which is 1 star damage. So you even have a health bar half the time. I vastly prefer this sort of Bomberman game. Ooh, we got 2 options. A sort of circle. Vastly prefer this sort of dungeon-based thing. Free roaming adventure sort of upgradey thing to whatever the hell Jessers and Generations was trying for. Other new enemy, Sonic the Hedgehog. He'll roll himself towards bombs, which means that he dies easily. Not very threatening at all, if you ask me. I don't know if the balled up form offers any protection from explosions. They're pretty easy to bait and pretty easy to kill in a couple of blasts. Aha! Double tap. No, the ball doesn't help. They do get their own individual death animation though. You sneaky devil. Anyway, let's check out that path we didn't take. Nope! And here we are at the crossroads. We got 3 directions to go in. We'll see the top is the longest direction, so we're going to want to go there last. This sort of screen shows up in quite a lot of the dungeons, actually. I'll get you. I'll let you live for now. We've got 4 boxes, 4 boxes scattered around, each operating a single door. I hesitate here massively because in later levels, some blocks have spikes that stick out and do a lot of damage and fire up. Yeah! Boom! Look at that explosive range. Enemies stand no chance. You've also got, haha, trap you. Got a much easier time if we want to accidentally kill ourselves now. Particularly before we have bomb kick, it's very easy to pen ourselves in, like so. That was a demonstration, not on purpose at all. So we'll clear the way. We can travel to the right direction. A slightly annoying thing is how the HUD elements hide at the top of the screen. The game is not designed with that in mind. Right in the top left is the worst of it, I guess. Hoping for some health. Got some money instead. Gotta push the right blocks in the correct order. And down the stairs we go. And here we have Sid, the Caravan merging machine. Now, unlike other games featuring Caravans, the merged Caravan doesn't actually take both abilities, even though only one of these Caravans has an ability. P-Fangs will be useless outside of this dungeon, other than another fighter for our fighting roster. Another thing to put lots of numbers into by collecting panels. The route out is slightly different than the route in. There we go. Push that one for good measure. Ooh. The snake took one for the team there. These guys are even easier to deal with now that we have fire up number 1. See, we have a bomb power of 3. Now every dungeon in the game has 2, count them, 2 upgrades. One of which will always be hidden in a secret room behind a not at all obvious cracked wall. Tink. The center of this deadly maze will be our prize. Nearly there. The silver shoes! Hooray! The silver shoes, we can walk marginally faster. I'm not being sarcastic, I'm ecstatic to have the silver shoes. The silver shoes are my favourite item in this dungeon. Jesus Christ, look at the speed! And look at the magnetic door. Openable only with the combined powers of electricity and earth. There we go! That is the one thing that this Caravan is useful for. I completely forget the name of this Caravan. Is it P-Fangs, Pommy-Fangs, Pretty-Fangs? And here's Magnet Bomber! Magnet Bomber. Now if you played any of the previous games in the series that featured the 5 dastardly bombers, you may recognise Magnet Bomber as one of them. And I'm dead already. That was not good. That was not a good start. This is probably one of the hardest bosses in the game by virtue of you only being able to take a couple of hits. probably doesn't help that I've come into the battle with one heart missing. Anyway, the object is to hit him in the head, hit him in his dragon head, because he's eaten the carrot bomb, and now he's a dragon. His body parts will explode, but only with level 1 explosions. After he hits his head a second time, he'll rejoin with his body. He is invincible against explosions when he does his fire breath. Let's give it another go. So you have to avoid his fire breath, you have to avoid the fact that he can set off your bombs with his fire breath, and you have to avoid the explosions left behind by his body. His body. This usually takes me a couple of tries. If I was sensible, I would have gone into my infantry and used my small health potion, Medicine. Nearly there now. He is a strong opponent, but he does not have a lot of health. Never pays to stand near your bombs. And we're done! Pommy Fangs returns. Thank God we got this completely useless thing back, and it's Max, except it isn't. He's not even here. Max kindly decided to leave holograms of himself at the center of these dastardly bomber bases. And he's left us a box with the Medal of Bravery. And another heart. The 5 dastardly bombers are here. Represented by meteors at the start of the game. They landed and they built bases or some such. Why are they here on this planet? Who knocked down these statues? These are all questions that may be answered later. And this arrow means that we can proceed to the second area of the game. The second quadrant. And here we shall continue next time. But first, you may have noticed that we've been passing an awful lot of these golden looking rocks in the previous update, all through the lands of Alpha and Beta Town. They're in fact switches, as some kid told us last time if you were paying attention. They reveal doorways to people. That's all. We've got this this fairy, I guess, that fills up our health. Subtle Zelda illusions, all of them. So this is very similar to the original Zelda, with the rooms with just one person standing in the middle. A wealth of useful information is being gathered here. While the health fairy is useful to know about, he's not exactly in the most useful place. It might have been good if he was, you know, accessible before you did the dungeon, but you can't have everything in this life. Mysterious secrets of the lovely forest. We're back in the plains now, we're getting closer to the beginning of the game. There's a couple more things to explore here. Man tells us of the shoes, the secret shoes. We'll be finding the golden shoes later in the game, and the golden shoes make us move even marginally faster more. Yes. Handy information. Yes. Prizes can be won in places, and here is where we want to go. Ignore the desynced audio. We never really explored this part of the forest, but down here is the lovely man. Hello, lovely man. The lovely man shall give us an extra heart. Our 5th heart, our 2nd this episode. A good start, and I shall see you next time for Desity Fun.